The new age spirituality is actually making people broke, unhappy, and unhealthy. And I see this everywhere, especially while I'm living in Bali. I am living in Thailand right now. There's spirituality everywhere, and most of the people are hardcore struggling, even though they are very well versed with the concepts of universe, the laws of assumption, manifestation, law of attraction, all of that. The missing piece is actually taking responsibility of your life. No matter who you believe in, God, universe, any kind of religion, in the end, you are the creator of your life. So spirituality, if used correctly, can give you that level of abundance, freedom, health, ease, relationships, joy, global life, and everything that you want, like that. But most of the times, people are getting lost. They're losing touch with themselves. Their bank accounts are almost empty. Then they are going out with a very weird energy, trying to sell their services and getting even weirder with the concepts of spirituality, because they know if they are weirder with their marketing, the scope of selling is more. I'm a mindset coach. I've been in this space for 13 years. I do not pay anybody for any ritual that is external, period. I haven't done the sound bowl thing. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I want to tap into that level of peace when I wake up, when I go to sleep, when I'm pissed at my team, when I'm annoyed with my parents. I'm not gonna go to a class, do the sound bath thing to feel better. I need tools. I want to practice things so that when I'm triggered, not only I'm relaxing myself, but I'm also receiving the golden learning that I need to receive from that moment to evolve, to change as a person. So what's happening in spirituality world is we're just going in circles. No patterns are getting broken. We are talking about patterns, but they're not getting broken. Our habits are not changing. We're talking about new habits, but they're not changing. We are actually not gaining stuff. We are talking about abundance. Money is not entering the bank account. If it is very quickly leaving the bank account. We're talking about love, but we're not making right kind of friendships for us. We're not getting into relationships. We're still in our comfort zone. We are talking about amazing health and body this, body that, but no energy levels. The face shows, the lack of glow on your face shows what is going on inside. The body is not happy. What's the point of spirituality if nothing is working out for you? While spirituality and all the laws of spirituality are actually designed to serve you. So let's get into it. Why is it that even if you're doing the healing work, you're doing the inner work, you're doing all right things, yet your life is not changing? So first of all, usually people get into spirituality because they are fed up of a reality that is just opposite of spirituality. I've been there. What I mean by that is, we have all been taught to hustle, to go hard on life. You have to be extra hardworking to have an edge, to achieve anything in life. So we've just been hustling and just mindlessly doing all our life, whether it's in school, it's in college, it's in job, or if you started your business after that. Oh my God, our calendars have to be filled, our to-do list has to be long. After a point, we get tired. I got tired. I was like, what is the fucking point of this? And that is when I was exposed to spirituality. Things like, all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And I was like, what? Does that work? What happened with that was I got included in communities and ecosystems where everybody was hyper spiritual. They just went from being in a very doer, hustly world to being in spiritual world where everything that you said was validated. If you would say, my mom is so toxic, I don't like her, she pulls me down, the whole community would be like, yeah, you're right, she's a bitch. Where is the fucking accountability? What did you change in your life by doing that? At that time, because I was so new in this space and one part of me felt so validated that I don't have to hustle anymore, I'm so tired, I got lost in that world. The facilitator would literally just say, love your body as it is. Not every walking body on the planet can be the same. Move on to the next topic. What did that change in their health? Nothing. They're still obese, some of them. They're unhealthy. They still have lack of strength. And the number of times I've heard people say, I am feeling weak today because there's something changed in the stars. There's something changed in something out there. Yo, who will take responsibility of what's happening inside your body? Maybe your body is communicating lack of vitamin D, vitamin B, whatever it is, or your body is literally begging you to move your ass, create that strength, but no. We are in spiritual space. We don't take accountability. We just point of our finger at something more spiritual looking so that we don't have to change anything. And that is the easiest thing to do. So we went from trying to control everything in the doer reality to doing nothing and blaming something or somebody else for our problems and asking the universe to change our life. So it is just a response to something that was fed in your head, the conditioning, and that's totally all right. It's all right when you're able to zoom out and observe that this was just a reaction to this. This is not who I am, and this is not how the world works. This is not how I actually create my life. It's okay if I got lost. I took months and months to get out of this passive zone. Like, it got so extreme. I would see people around me in those spiritual ecosystems where they would not even learn anything new. They were struggling in their business, yet they would not learn about accounting. They are paying their taxes. Some of them wouldn't even do that. Who cares? When I get caught, I get caught. They don't want to learn about accounts. They don't want to learn about the tax they're paying. They don't want to learn about how to recruit. They don't want to learn about how to, the most basic thing, how to edit a video. They wouldn't even put out any content out there. And that's when they would just try to sell their service, one selling to another, one selling to another. It was such a weird cultish vibe. And when they would hear me sharing that this is what I'm doing for my show, I raised a sponsorship of 5 lakhs, everybody would fly to me like insects, those flies, like, how did you do that? How did you do that? How did you do that? I used to be on these calls with them reading a book on money. They would reread this book again and then again and then again and then again. They would just keep reading the book non-stop. Like, they would literally brag about it that I've read this book 101 times. Okay, what changed in your bank account? Oh, nothing. I'm just manifesting money. Fuck that. I realized eventually that this shit is crazy. I need to fucking get out of here. And because I had become very passive in my life too, I wouldn't learn anything new. I wouldn't do anything new. I would just keep planning, keep thinking, keep talking about stuff, but I would not do it. And even when I would do it, I was just coming from a space, a weird lost space. I think I had lost that connection with myself. I realized that I went from absolute doer to weird spiritual sort of space. And that is when I took a step back and undid everything. And I'm going to teach you in the next part how to undo this weird passive state that you've come in. Second reason why people get all passive with spirituality is because it is easier to claim universe or God or a religion to be like, they haven't given me that. I'm not ready for it. I've literally had these conversations. I've heard people say that even in Thailand, this is not my divine timing. I always ask people a question. What does that mean to you? Blank. There's no answer to that because it doesn't mean anything. Your subconscious doesn't respond to stuff like divine timing, because when you were born and for the first 10 years of your life, your parents did not say, do you want to eat your food at divine timing? Fuck that. Your subconscious doesn't even know what that means, but you're using your conscious thinking brain to make sense of spirituality, and you're using all these vague terms to, in the end of the day, be like, universe is gonna take care of that. Universe, imagine universe like this. It is a huge, huge screen. What's projected on that screen is you. So it's you outwardly projected out there. So if you're a lazy ass person, universe is like, take more of those lazy ass scenarios. If you're somebody who's like, oh, I want more sales in my business, but I'm just going to sit and meditate on it. And if your intuition gives you an idea that how about you create this program and you don't, the universe is like, boom, here you go, take more delay. So you're using the concepts against you because you're not taking responsibility of your life. One more really funny, not funny, like I'm not making fun of you because I've been there. What it is funny is that you have made buckets. This is spiritual, this is not spiritual. Now the thing is, you use that for things that are quite essential for your life. You live in a world where you do receive money in your bank account or as cash. So when there's a conversation about cash flow, deemed spiritual person is like, cash flow like, I don't know my cash flow. Universe gives and I spend with an open heart. But bro, what is your cash flow? Are you having a surplus there? Are you aware of it? If you don't believe in numbers for whatever reason, because you're spiritual, you do realize when you go to a cafe and you buy an overpriced matcha latte, or worse, turmeric latte, which is a very Indian thing. It's haldi doodh. You're paying with numbers. You're not saying, take my aura. You're not saying that. At least not right now. This is not how our world is designed. You're paying with numbers. So when it comes to having some sense about your own numbers, why you so lost? And I get it. I was there. I was so scared, so freaking scared of even opening my bank app to check what money I have. That is where you got to do your money work, your money mindset work. No, just shouting abundance and dancing on weird songs is not gonna improve your money mindset. This is coming from your childhood. It is deep in your subconscious where you learned something really negative about money. Either it's evil, either you don't deserve it, or it's very hard, or it is something that comes and goes away very soon. Whatever you learned about money is what you're role playing right now in life. So if you're tagging such things as budget, cash flow, research, like I was speaking to somebody who's a mindset coach, and I was just going to write that I have done research on how to create a company in Dubai. And for a second I paused. I was like, what if she's very spiritual? And then she's like, research, that's so weird. But she's not. She's a really, really awesome businesswoman. So we did have that really awesome conversation. But the point being, if you have tagged certain things as spiritual and certain things as non-spiritual, you're living in very limited buckets. And let me tell you something, everything is spiritual. Everything has spirit in it. Everything has energy and actual life in it, scientifically and any other legally. The point being, everything is spiritual. Stop putting things in buckets. And in fact, I would say, even before stopping, if your mind says something like this is not spiritual, always take a note of that, because that is carrying some learning for you. Because then you will be able to notice what you are avoiding in life, and what you are avoiding in life is actually a gateway to a huge progress pathway. So always take note of what you're resisting. And lastly, people are not comfortable with discomfort. They feel that everything has to be served while they are bathing in their comfort zone. Because if it is meant to be, if the universe is supposed to give you that, shouldn't this feel amazing? I agree with you. I fucking love joy. I love expansion. I love ease. These are my values. I live by that. But so is discomfort, because if I'm not stepping into my discomfort, I'm being the same version. With the same version, you only get the same things, and even if you get something just a bit ahead of that, it goes away because you haven't changed as a person. Now tell me one thing, was it easy for you, was it comfortable for you to learn how to ride a bike? But you didn't care as a child. Like, of course you did care, you cried and you were like, fuck it, I'm not doing it, I'm scared and da da da, but you still did it. You still showed up in your discomfort, and there was a point when you realized that you were just able to ride it, and after that you didn't have to use your mind to be like, am I riding it correctly or not? Because your body had learned. That is the process of change. It applies to everything that you learned in your entire life, and this is what you are designed to do as a human being, not to sit and rot in your comfort, but keep evolving. And we are one of those species who has been given this gift by God to be able to evolve and keep evolving. And that's just so juicy and amazing that when you've put in some more repetitions in your journey right now, you would start finding pleasure in discomfort, and that is when you will start inviting in more of that, keeping your values of joy, expansion and ease intact. And then nobody can stop you. Then you're unstoppable. Now coming to how to use spirituality and all the laws of universe to actually create what you want. The first step is the easiest, and this is what most people skip on. It's the foundation of building anything, which is know what you want and define it. Now, if you're like, I want abundance, that means bad shit. Even you don't know what that means. So if you don't know what that means, how do you even know you're progressing towards that? Will you be able to acknowledge if you create just 10% of that? No, it's absent. It's just a concept. It's great to talk about on these fucking spiritual meetups wherever you live. It doesn't change your life. So define what you want. Do you want money? Yeah, I want money. Everybody wants money. How much? What? We're getting real? I don't want to get real. This is so uncomfortable. Money is bad. We don't talk about it. Spirituality, in spirituality, especially, we don't talk about it. Fuck that. Go beyond that. It's gonna take a while. Take deep breaths. Check with yourself. Not based on your necessities or utilities. Just what do you want? It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Choose. Fucking choose. Why do you want it? Now, it's not such a crazy question, but when you are establishing that groundedness in the creator, you, the creator that you are, it feels like a threatening question. Because if you know what you want and why you want it, you know that it's going to happen. That means change is coming. So the part of you that wants to stay the same wouldn't want you to answer these questions, wouldn't want you to get the clarity. And clarity is always gold. When you have clarity, that's just a huge sign that what you want is what you're getting. You're not just going to keep talking about it, seeing your life being the same 5 years later as well. Yes, I've literally met people 5 years back who are still the same today. What's the point of being alive today? If you're not moving, you're not changing, you're not evolving, you're not rising. So why do you want it? Is it so that you can experience the pleasure of abundance around you, pleasure of choices, pleasure of choosing, oh, I want to buy this property. Like for me, having different properties all over the world, flying my parents, that would be so fun. Like they've worked so hard for all of us to today be like, okay, we're building our businesses, right? There's no scarcity, there's no survival. I want to treat my parents. Do you want to give your gifts to your siblings, your spouses, or do you just want to serve yourself? That is fine too. Like when I started thinking really big for my business, all I had in my mind was I am traveling in Australia and I'm living in the best accommodations and hotels and Airbnbs that there are. I had literally allotted 10 lakh rupees. That's almost like $12,000 just for 1 month of accommodation. That's it. At that time, I wasn't even earning 10% of that. But my goal was 10 lakhs so that I can spend all of that in 1 month and live in the best beachfront, oceanfront properties. And that's exactly what I did. So, what is your why? Now, for the part of you that chose passive spirituality over hustle, is threatened, is threatened right now, because that part of you is so scared that now what if we have to go back to hustle? No, build a foundation for your process. How do you want your process to be like? Most of the times when we're doing our manifestation stuff, we skip on this part because we don't even realize that we have the entire authority in our life to decide what our process is. Do you want it to be effortless? Do you want to wake up with inspiration, or do you just want to be like, I have to make that poster so that I can put it on my group so that people can show up to my workshop, so that I can upsell my paid program, so that I can make this money, so that I can pay my rent, and then rinse and repeat. Do you want your process to be like that, or do you want your process to be like, I'm just so intuitively progressing, I don't know how, but somehow I just get these amazing ideas and I have all the energy in the world to just implement them. In fact, they get implemented through me and I am just flowing. It's such a flow process. Now let me tell you something. There are coaches who would literally say, don't do anything, you will just somehow get it. Those coaches have a long to-do list. They're taking a lot of actions to run their business. That is why you got to know about them. That is why you signed up for their programs. When they are doing so much, why are they asking you to not do it? The question is not the doing part. The question is, how do you want to feel while you're doing it? I work my ass off. I work and I also walk, but also work my ass off, and I fucking love it. I would not have it any other way, because that is me servicing my purpose. I mean, it is fucking satisfying. Like, this is the biggest blessing of my life, to see people's lives change in every session. I get a kick out of that. So I'm creating every day. I am working with my team. It's just like a lot I'm doing every day. I would never say sit back and relax and then universe is doing it for you. Yes, there are many things that will walk up to you. I guarantee you that many things walk up to me in my life, but that is just a response to the fact that I chose something and I showed up for it. So if you're not showing up for your goals, universe, whatever that means, is not showing up for your goals as well. You decide how do you want your process to be like. Easy, fun, like I'm meeting people who are like me, visionaries, they're moving ahead. Wouldn't it be fun? It's almost like a study circle that you had in your school. It was fun to work with somebody. If that is your thing, if that gives you a kick, if that puts you in groove, ask for that, create that. Okay, now the next thing is, the spirituality only works for you, universe only works for you if you know your vision. I know this is similar to point one, but it's an extension of that. What does your life look like after you've gotten everything that you just chose for yourself? When you have that money, when you have that health, when you have that partner, what does your life look like? Oh, right now what I'm doing is I'm just looking at the flights and I'm booking business class for my parents, or it could be a step ahead. Actually, I have this bag that I got in my business class. I'm really enjoying it. I'm just using it as a souvenir. Or I have a really nice chef. I love her. I just gave that business class back to her. This is specific as fuck. This is where you're getting to know yourself. This is where your imagination is letting you know your own self. This is where your creative forces are flowing, and this is where the universe, that's just a projection of you, is receiving that command and now giving you those synchronicities that you die for. Now, synchronicities again are just responses to you seeing that vision. Sleep with it, wake up with it. When you're like, I need a break in my work, go to your bed. That is my place. Like, I get in my bed, I put on my earphones if I'm listening to something, or I just sit and visualize. Oh man, it is so fun. Like, it's almost like you are the celebrity of your life, because you are. And then you are asking yourself, what does my life look like? And you're stepping into that and imagining that. I'm speaking. I have a team call. Like, it was supposed to start 5 minutes back. I'm just messaging them. Just 7 minutes more, please. Okay, a truth for your existence is that you are the creator of your life. No God, no universe, no destiny, no cosmology bolte hain? Cosmotology, whatever, the stars in the sky. Nothing is the creator of your life. Only you are the creator of your life. Everything else is just responding to your energy. When you realize the responsibility of it, you would make 50% of the changes in your life right away. So it's just a choice away. Make the choice of realizing that you are the creator of your life. Okay, this is super important. Change your environment. If you have spiritual people around you who are doing drugs, smoking up, not taking responsibility of their business, and just being con artists trying to sell stuff to people, I am being direct as fuck right now, then you need to sit with people who reflect the version of you that you're stepping into. I do this all the time. I right now have no tolerance to have those people in my life who do not resonate with my values. What I mean by that is, I only invite those people in my life who match with my values, because my old programming all my life was that I have to be welcoming to everybody, sort of like a doormat. I have to be nice to everybody, I have to include everybody, I have to give my time to everybody. That's the most exhausting thing, and that's also reflecting that I do not take ownership of my values, and that gives me an easy pass to be like, oh, what do I do? People are toxic. People are not toxic. It's just that you are not letting those people in your life who reflect your values, just because you haven't established those values for yourself, and you haven't started showing up in your life keeping those values as your foundation. So yes, show up in your life as your values, but also start inviting those people in. It won't be comfortable in the beginning, because when you are wanting to be abundant, right, prosperous, you have a thriving business, and when you are exposing yourself to communities, to people who are earning 10x of you, their conversations are different. You're going to feel uncomfortable, you're going to feel like you don't belong here, and that's fine. That's the very starting phase. And if you persist through it, you will start finding this natural, because this is who you're becoming, right? If you find wealthy people who do not align with your values, maybe they're wealthy based on greed, and if that doesn't work for you, don't engage in those environments. Create your own unique kind of environments which hold majority of your values. Now lastly, guilt, shame is gonna come up because you're creating something new. Your old version is dying, and it's not an easy process. A lot of uncomfortable emotions are going to come up, old memories are going to come up. If you accidentally share it with people who do not align with this, maybe your mother, father, they're going to give you a backlash, maybe. All of this is going to happen, and just know that this is part of the process. So, hence, releasing those emotions, emotional regulation, sitting with your feelings, observing your feelings, and making new choices becomes even more important. So, I am rooting for your spiritual self to actually guide you towards your dream life, towards your dream self, who has that beautiful, gorgeous money, who has gorgeous home, who's traveling the world, who's not thinking about the expenses, because you know that you have more than enough money. You're doing charities, you're taking your family and friends to these amazing trips. You know that whether you're sleeping or you're traveling, your sales are just going on and on, your team is happy. I'm wishing that, I'm rooting for you. And I know that everything that you've learned so far about universe, about spirituality, everything is now getting a purpose. The purpose is to serve you. You deserve to be served. You deserve to live a changed life and updated life. I'm Yuvika, your mindset shifting coach. If you haven't joined our free mindset community yet, do that. Oh baby, like these days I'm just channeling the most direct, no BS uplifting messages. I'm gonna see you there, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Mwah.